Of course I'm back. We got action. Gotta give credit where credit's due. Tom is on his JO. Number one, balling on a budget. Let's be honest, a few of us were probably a little bit worried about who was going to walk in free agency and who the Chargers could actually afford to bring back. And boy, for the most part, they have knocked almost all of the cans off of the wall, with the exception of one. We'll get to that in a minute. But some of these free agent signings, whether it be Morgan Fox, Donald Parham, Eric Kendricks coming aboard, and Trey Pipkins, all make sense. The contracts are more than affordable, and the years and terms associated with them. I mean, look, we know who the man behind the numbers is, Mr. McGuire, but as far as, getting the guys back in the building, having the conversations, expressing who we want back, and establishing roles, a lot of that's on time. So bravo to you, man. You've done good so far. Keep it going. Continuing on with the theme of free agency and contracts, let's talk about number two, which is going to be called Know Your Worth. Trey Pipkins understood, went out, tested the market a bit, didn't take very, very long to come back, and signed himself a 3-year, 21 plus mil deal. And of course, it's advantageous to both he and the Chargers. There's always going to be a ripcord with this team when it comes to contracts, but the guy went out there, showed what he could do. Still, the sample size isn't as large as we would all like, but he played some good ball when pressed into duty 2 years ago, but also last year, kind of being a warrior and battling through some injuries definitely helped his case. Now, on the flip side, Drew Tranquil, who decided that he was going to join the evil empire. I understand betting on yourself, but dude was a little ahead of his skis, and the market brought him back down to earth. Apparently, from what we know, he was given a fair market offer to start free agency, or prior to, turned it down, decided to test it out, which is within his right. Had his best year as a pro, so it made sense. But unfortunately, the Kendrick signing meant that he was expendable. Would have been nice to have him back, but to expect to come back to the same deal that you said no to initially, that's a little weird to me. Probably got in his feelings a bit, decided to go to a team where he's arguably going to be maybe the third, probably the fourth best linebacker on the squad. To me, that sounds and feels salty, but I'm not here to judge the dude. Best of luck to him, except for when he plays the Chargers. So, moving on. Whew. Is it just me, or does it feel like the NFL has a point to prove this offseason? Number three, restore order, because it feels like that's what they're looking to do. I mean, the markets have been crazy all across the board. You're looking at Dalton Schultz, who bet on himself and ended up signing a 1-year deal, passing up and losing on more money. Of course, we saw what happened to Drew Tranquil. We mentioned that before. But just as a whole, the dominoes are falling, but some of these deals are 1-year prove-it situations with guys who have stepped up in the past few seasons or have been proven commodities for a while. NFL's not having it. It makes me wonder what this has to do with. With some of it feels like they're trying to reestablish some things and set a new precedent. So, unfortunately, players are paying for it by not getting paid. But, while I was out in Vegas last week, I got a really weird notification to my phone. And, side note, super strange that I saw more Bills and Chiefs fans in Las Vegas than actual Raiders fans. But it's Vegas and it's the Raiders, so should I be surprised? Anyway, that notification was that Nasir Adderley was retiring. And yeah, definitely caught me off guard. Now, I didn't suspect that he would be back with the Chargers, but we can probably agree that his career as a whole was very underwhelming. When he was coming out of Delaware, he looked like the perfect fit to play alongside Derwin James, and it just never really materialized. He always seemed like maybe he was just a couple steps away. We saw some flashes here and there, but the consistency just wasn't there. And when it looked like his trajectory was on the upswing, he takes some really serious dips, and clearly it cost him a longer opportunity in the NFL. But at this point, do we really know that he wanted to play that long anyway? Seems like he wanted to move into business for himself, and maybe the passion for the game just wasn't there anymore. I mean, lots of injuries, things that held him off the field. He dealt with a severe hamstring injury at one point, and you gotta imagine between the injuries and being kind of bounced in and out of the lineup probably is not the easiest thing on your mental. I'm sure it was taxing, both physically and mentally, but he made the decision, I guess, that was right for him and his family. So best of luck to him, man. But sorry, I guess I never even entitled number 4. Fare thee well, Nas. All my best wishes to you, man. Much success, whatever your endeavors are moving forward. Let's go ahead and top this bad boy off, shall we? Number 5, mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be running backs. Saw Austin Ekeler on a pod here recently, and I get it, man. Lobbying for yourself, letting it be known what you want and what your expectations are. Also see both sides of the coin here. You're a near 28-year-old running back with a lot of tread on the tires, and it's a difficult thing to be in the NFL. Position is super undervalued. You just saw a 7th round running back help a team win a championship. It's a cold world, man. Look, I like Austin, but I understand the business side of this too. He probably feels like this is his last best chance at a significant payday, and he's probably right. But who's really going to give up assets for that? Because not only do you have to trade pieces, you got to extend them and pay them. Thinking about what team could be that desperate. You saw a few of them make some moves here in the offseason already. Between the Bears and a couple other guys, it just seemed like some of the teams where he makes sense are already off of the board. They've already signed cheaper, in some cases, younger options. And, you know, this kind of feels like he's in between a rock and a hard place. Ultimately, I think he'll be back with the Chargers. We saw in the Discord some information dropped in there about the potential to possibly have his people push a little bit more for some movement to take place in April during the draft. So I guess we'll all be on pins and needles until then. But I just have a hard time seeing someone making that move. The flip side to that is, if it happens, what do the Chargers do at the running back position moving forward? Joshua Kelly's not a number 1, and Isaiah Spiller couldn't sniff the field last season. You don't go into a year with as much on the line as the Chargers have in 23 with an uncertain backfield like that, and that brings up some names in the draft to possibly keep an eye on. And we know they love drafting running backs, so guess we'll have to wait and see. But until the next time, man, I appreciate y'all taking a few out to kick it with your boys. This has been another 5-piece for your head tops. And until the next one, y'all take it easy. I'll catch y'all later. Go on.